Good morning guys, and welcome back to Thailand Adventures with Dan. In today's video guys, I want to talk about my journey moving to Thailand 6 years ago, and was it the right decision for me. And this video is mainly designed for people that are thinking about moving to Thailand and giving you some real, honest, true facts, the good, the bad and the ugly guys. So stay tuned if you're interested in a real story and you're thinking about moving to Thailand. If this is the first time that you've seen me on YouTube, then just to let you know, my name's Dan. I'm 40 years old, and 6 years ago, I moved to Thailand to live here permanently. I had been to Thailand only one time before, and that was when I was in my 20s. I wasn't the traveling type of person. I used to go to Spain for most of my holidays, and to be honest with you, I hardly went on holiday much, as I was busy, always working. I had my own business, so literally it was like 7 days a week non-stop. So to cut a long story short, I was in a 7-year relationship. I'd managed to build my business from scratch. It was very successful, around about 10 to 15,000 pound per week in profit I was bringing in at the peak of my business. But I was depressed. Everything I bought had no satisfaction for me. It's very true that money definitely does not buy you happiness. You can buy something new, like the new iPhone 14, and you get it, you play around with it. After a few days, it becomes just a phone again. Just a normal phone like your old one. But everybody gets caught up in the hype and the advertising and the marketing that people go out and spend over £1,000 on an iPhone 14. Just to give you a bit of an example, guys, but it's not going to bring you any happiness in the long run. So I was fed up and I thought, I need to change my life. I've been in a 7-year relationship. I'm not really in love. She's a great woman, like my best friend, but it wasn't the type of relationship that I really wanted and hoped for and dreamed for. That it wasn't that. And my business, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the people that I was surrounded by, because it was sales and marketing. Everybody were the snaky type people, so it wasn't enjoyable at all. So a friend of mine said he's going to Thailand for 2 months. So I thought, yeah, that's a perfect opportunity. Thailand's halfway around the world. It's not my particular destination that I want to go to, but if he's going for 2 months and he wants to travel around Thailand, it could be really good fun, a real learning experience, and it will give me time to get away from my current life and get focus and decide what I want to do for the rest of my life. Because as you get older, guys, you'll probably relate, the years go faster, the days go faster, the weeks go faster, the months go faster as you get older. So time does literally fly. So you need to do something to try to find some kind of happiness in your life if you're unhappy. Okay, now I'm going to be super honest, guys. Whether it makes me look bad or look good, doesn't matter. I made this channel to tell you the truth, because I seen that there was so much disinformation and people only showing you the bright side, or they had egos, so they wanted to give you a story or tell you only the good parts to make themselves look good. But that's not my style, guys. I'm not on here for ego. I'm just here to try to help people and advise people. So anyway, back to the story. Come to Thailand. I'm not one for like sleeping around, and especially paying for sex and stuff. It's not really my style. It's just something that doesn't really get me going, so to speak. You know, if I get with a woman, I want her to want me. Otherwise, I just don't find any interest in it. But when I come here with limited experience, I'm surrounded by foreigners that are all dating bar girls, etc., and saying that it's totally fine, it's a total different world here. What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand. Turn your brain off, go with the flow, etc., etc. So naively, I got with this bar girl that I'd seen in a bar. She'd been in there for like seven nights, and I never seen her go with a customer. She used to just get tips from drinks. Seemed pretty chilled, pretty normal. So yeah, stupidly, and I know it was wrong, like guys, I've had people judge me already in my video, Don't Date a Bar Girl, which is up here. And yeah, I got with her, and it was all great at first, guys. Took it slowly, and everything. Treated her normal. I didn't pay for her, like there was no like salary involved or anything. I told her straight, you know, if you want a normal life with a guy that's the way I am, you know, then yeah, come with me. Otherwise, stay here and wait for a guy that's gonna buy you a house, buy you land, buy you all this stuff and give you a salary and all the stuff that bar girls want, basically. I'm not gonna give it you, but if you want to come with me and be normal, I'll take care of you, of course, you know, pay for your food, pay for a roof over your head, etc., etc., then yeah, no problem. So anyway, I get with her. It lasted about a year and a half or just over a year. I can't remember properly, guys. It was a while ago now when I first come. And it ended up being a disaster. I'm not going to go into detail with it. You can watch the video, guys, if you're interested. So anyway, that ended. I travelled all over Thailand, went here, there and everywhere. I wanted to learn the language. I wanted to study Thai people. I wanted to study the culture, because I soon realised that everything I learned on the internet about Thailand wasn't true. It was like, it might have been many, many years ago, but the culture, the people, once I got to know them, and I travelled in the north, I'd done a bit in the south, went east, went west, and I started to learn very, very quickly that everything that I had read about wasn't exactly true. So yeah, I wanted to educate myself. I wanted to be able to speak to Thai people, ask questions and make them open up to me and get the real truth about what they really think, what the culture's really all about. Because I wanted to understand this country, because I was living here now. I got, when I first come, I was on a 2-month visa, went back home. A week later, I stopped my relationship, stopped my business, and I flew back on a 6-month visa. At the end of the 6-month visa, I got a Thailand elite visa for 5 years, which cost me 500,000 baht. Because I decided that, yeah, I'm going to give it 5 years and to stay here. I was in that first relationship, didn't go great. So when I ended that, I wanted to travel, be single, go around, learn about Thailand. And then I ended up going on like the dating apps and spoke to this girl, and she seemed really nice, really fun. I didn't want anything too serious. I thought she seemed like the fun type of girl where she wouldn't be too serious with me, but she wouldn't also sleep around, etc. as well. So I got with her, and that lasted around about 6 months. Ended up being a disaster, but not too much of a disaster like the first one, guys. If you want to check out the video in regard to that one, that's up there as well. Yeah, I've literally put my whole life on these videos, guys. So since I left the first girl that I was with from the bar, like I said, I travelled around all over Thailand, and I found that the place that I was most comfortable in was Isan. It was more natural for me. The people were much nicer. There were less fake smiles. People that have been in Thailand a while can relate to that. And at Isan, I just found it more genuine. The country style type people, I really, really enjoyed being around. They were pretty straightforward type of people, not as tricky, and just genuinely nice to be around. So I really enjoyed Isan, and I decided to spend most of my time in Isan at that moment. So I travelled from province to province to try to find somewhere that I would be happy to settle down in. So I just stayed in hotels, travelling around, until I eventually came to Buriram, where I am now. I got myself an apartment, really, really cheap, 3,500 baht per month, and just got a nice room, TV, fully furnished, got a balcony, Shower was okay, everything was great, and it was only 3,500 baht. So yeah, no problem. Made friends in Buriram, met a lot of nice Thai people, and it was great. So I decided to go back on the dating apps to see if I can find anyone decent who's around. So I put on my profile that, listen, I live in Thailand, I know the score, I'm not the type of foreigner where I'm going to drape you in gold, I'm going to buy you land, I'm going to buy you a house. That's not my style at all. You're not going to get a salary. But if you want to meet a genuine guy, yeah, with a good heart that doesn't sleep around, I live here permanently, got a 5-year visa, blah, 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 then I'm your guy. So as you can probably appreciate, I didn't get too many messages from that profile, or the messages that I did receive, they didn't read the profile. So straight away I'd say to them, please check my profile out. If you can't read English, please translate what I put in my profile. And if you're interested, please get back to me. So yeah, not a lot of people got back to me from that. But the ones that did were really nice. They just told me straight that they want to learn English. So happy to talk to me. Or they found me interesting, wanted to be my friend, until my current wife decided to message me and basically say, Dan, loved your profile, loved the fact that you're not the typical foreigner that's based here. I really like the sound of you. You sound super interesting. And to be honest with you, I'd love to meet you. Now, I had a hangover at the time. I went out the night before. So she's pushing and pushing to meet me. And I'm saying, oh, I'm tired and blah, blah, blah. And eventually she gets me to say, okay, we'll meet for a coffee in Starbucks and just sit, have a chat, and then go our separate ways. So I'm going to fast forward through this, guys, because I've done videos about it. So anybody who's a subscriber, I don't want to go over the same old ground. So anyway, I met her, we hit it off, we spoke for hours inside the coffee shop. Then we went out together, met some of her cousins, had a few drinks, have some food. And then I seen her like the day after, and we had a few dates and stuff, and everything kind of blossomed. She was very happy that she wasn't going to be making money out of me. She knew that I was a bit of a, like getting blood out of a stone. I'm quite bit of a tight, I don't want to swear, a bit of a tight guy, like. So yeah, so I dated her, and eventually I moved out of my apartment and I moved into her house. And I think it's been about 3.5 years in total that I've been with my wife. We've got a 1-year-old son now called William, and everything's great, guys. We live a very basic life. I work 7 days a week. I make enough money to get by, and everything's good. My 5-year visa is almost finished, but I get a free 6-month extension because of COVID. So I'm about to go to Bangkok very soon, before the end of this month, to go and get that 6-month stamp. And then I've got a choice to either get a dependent visa, because I have a son here in Thailand, so I can get that now, or I can get officially married, because I'm only village style married. If you don't know the difference between that, guys, put it in the comments, I'll let you know. So I've got that choice to get officially married or get a dependence visa. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Only time will tell. But my wife also would like to take all the family and move to England and give it a go. But I know how bad it is in England now, guys. I know how crazy it is. I know the prices in England. I've got family and friends that tell me so much about it. And I've got subscribers that email me and message me and say that, it's not the best time to come back to England. Everything's a bit of a mess at the moment. So I appreciate that, guys. So only time will tell now what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so that's a very short story of my life and my journey here in Thailand. But the main reason why I wanted you to watch this video is so that you could make a decision on whether or not Thailand is the right place for you to come and retire or live here. Now, I would say if you've got an alcohol problem, Thailand is not the best place to come, because you could end up drinking yourself to death, guys, literally. And it's happened to so many people before. So if you've got an alcohol problem, Thailand's a big no-go. Just don't do it, guys. If you've not got an alcohol problem and you move to a place like Pattaya, you probably in the future will have an alcohol problem, because it's so easy to do, and I've seen it so many times happen to other people before. Now, if you're not a big alcohol guys and you just want to come here because you love the weather, you love the culture, or you're hoping to meet a nice Thai lady here or whatever, then, you know, for me, the best types of places to live on the islands can be a great kind of life if that's what you're into, the island life. There's lots of different things to do, different types of people there, and you've got the beach, you've got the sea, so sabai. Up north in Chiang Mai, you've got the mountains, beautiful. You've got the cooler weather as well. It's a lot more cooler there. And in winter time, it's absolutely freezing if you drive your motorbike around. I lived in Pai for 6 months, and it was an experience. Very, very nice. Natural, hot spring water baths and everything. It was just an amazing experience and very relaxing, very chill, guys, up in Chiang Mai. But for me, I travelled all over Thailand, and I always found that Isan was the place where I felt the most comfortable and the most chilled. And for the first time in my whole life, I have peace of mind in this country. I love the rice fields. I love the restaurants that are out on the rice fields. I love how natural and normal the Thai people are in Isan. If you start dating in Isan, if the women understand that, you know, you're not stupid and you know a little bit of Thai, or they see you're not like a big drinker, they're a lot more chilled with you guys. They're a lot more natural. They're a lot less tricky. And it's quite enjoyable just going for dinner or going to watch live music with one of them. Even if it's just a date, it's quite a lot of fun. I recently did a cost of living video, and it's very, 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 very cheap to live here, dependent on your lifestyle. But if you want to live cheap in Isan, you can do, no problem. You want to live cheap in Pattaya or Bangkok, for example, it's a big problem, guys, because everything is super expensive because there's so many tourists. Anywhere around the world, if you go to a tourist place, you'll always notice that the prices are put right up because they can do, and they know you're going to pay it. But as soon as you escape from any tourist place anywhere in the world, you'll always know that you'll always get to find that the prices are a lot cheaper. So I live a very basic life with chickens going off in the background. You've probably heard them. The next door's chickens. They love it here because we throw rice out in the garden and they just eat all the rice. So I've told the wife to stop feeding them because they're crapping all over the place and they're bloody noisy. So hopefully she listens to me. But you'll have the chickens. You'll hear the soy dogs. I just call them street dogs. You'll hear them barking at night and howling, and in the morning they'll wake you up. So it takes a bit of getting used to. Thai people are very social people, so you'll see a lot of Thai people coming round to the house and coming and going a lot. The next door neighbours are normally like family members, or they're very close to the neighbours. So expect non-privacy if you was to live in a village. But also you can live in like they have a lot of like complexes where a lot of foreigners will rent a place, and you have to get through the security to go inside. You can rent a little 2-bedroom house, and that's a lot more private, and the neighbours are normally private and keep themselves to themselves. But if you live in the villages, it's totally different. I love the village life. Everybody's friendly, everybody knows who I am, everybody knows that I'm a pretty normal foreigner. I don't spend crazy money or build crazy houses here. So they've come to accept that I'm not a money guy, but I'm a good guy, you know. So it kind of works out okay for me. Nobody comes to me to ask for money. There's no family members that come round and ask my wife, have you got 10,000, 20,000 baht I can borrow or I can have, because they know that they're not going to get it out of me. So it's great. And I don't care what people think of me. They think bad of me. That's absolutely fine. But if I was to be generous and was to give people money or borrow people money, I know what's going to happen. You're not going to get the money that you borrow back. Yeah? Which happens back in England as well. You know, I don't like to borrow money back in England because the same thing happens. And if you give money to someone, guaranteed they're going to come back a week or two later and ask for more money and more money and more money. So hopefully you listen to how I've done things here and you can take a little bit of it. Maybe you don't want to copy me totally, you know, you are your own unique person, so you do things your own way. But the best way to live in, especially a Thai village, is try not to speak too much Thai if you understand the language. Otherwise, people will talk to you all the time and they will ask you to borrow money, or have you got 20 baht or 100 baht, and it'll happen a lot. Or they'll say, can you buy me some Lao Khao, which is like Thai whiskey, 40% proof, but extremely cheap to buy. So they'll ask you for money for that. So it's not good. Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut in a Thai village and try not to get too social with people. So guys, I've permanently lived in Isan now for 3.5 years. I'm extremely happy. I have peace of mind. I live a very basic life. Everything's very relaxed. No one's trying to trick me out of money or buying this or buying that. Everything's pretty normal, and I'll never get treated as a Thai, but I almost get treated just the same as a Thai, which is great. That's what I wanted. I don't want to be something special here. I just want to be treated like everybody else. It's very difficult to get that, but I'm almost there, which is quite good, because a lot of people never really get there at all who've lived here for a very long time. And if you're watching this, you can relate. So guys, if you've got any tips or any experience about living in Thailand, and you're actually happy and you have a positive story about living here, then please put it in the comments, because this video is just more of a positive video to basically show people that it's not all negative in Thailand. If you keep your money in your pocket, you're not stupid, you don't drink too much, and you're a pretty normal, down-to-earth type of guy, then Thai people see that and you get treated a hell of a lot differently, and your time here becomes a very pleasant one. Hope you enjoyed the story, guys. I've tried to be as honest and as truthful as possible, and hopefully you've got something out of this video. If you've got any questions, guys, please feel free to ask. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. There's a lot of tips, there's a lot of honest videos that I've placed on here, and literally I'm going to be very, very active on the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of different things on this channel as well, so get ready for that. Please subscribe, guys. Please like the video if you enjoyed the content, and please comment if you've got anything to add or you've got any questions. This has been Thailand Adventures with Dan. I'll see you on the next one. Oosh.